The picturesque city of Charleston in South Carolina has played host to the Velux 5 Oceans Round the World Yacht Race for the best part of a month now, as the fleet of Eco 60 yachts and their elite skippers prepare for Ocean Sprint 5. This final leg of the 2010-2011 edition of the race kicks off this Saturday and will see the 4 competitors from 4 different nations do battle from Charleston on the eastern seaboard of the USA to La Rochelle on the west coast of France. Ocean Sprint 5 will take the competitors on a grueling 3,600-mile traverse of the North Atlantic, and one that will see the culmination of almost 9 months of intense racing and over 30,000 miles at sea. American Brad Van Loo has been the class of the field, having won all 4 of the Ocean Sprints contested so far. The man from Charleston is favourite to take the overall honours, but still needs to complete the race before he can be crowned champion.
Well, I mean, that's why I just have to be careful, you know, and I've got to play my own mental machinations, you know, my own mental dance, and remind myself consistently that, you know, winning this last leg is not the primary objective. The primary objective is to get safely to La Rochelle and to get the boat there in one piece so that I can take my points and turn them and convert them into an overall first place. I'm way too competitive just to lope it across, so, you know, I'd love to be in the game as well, and it would be nice to have a clean sweep. I mean, that would be a pretty big resume builder. Nobody's done that twice, and the last time I did this race in 2002, I did that in the Tommy program, so it would be pretty cool to have 2 of those and be sort of a club of 1, you know.
Since the event got underway from La Rochelle on October the 17th last year, Polish skipper Zbigniew Gutkowski and Canadian Derek Hatfield have been fighting each other tooth and nail. And after the multitude of problems that beset the pole on the last leg, the man from Gdansk is tied with Hatfield for 2nd place. The final sprint across the Atlantic should be a fierce duel between these 2 top skippers.
Definitely I have to go alone, not with Derek really close, because when Derek stay with me, so this is not good for me, because Derek is much faster than me. So I have to lose the Derek, using maybe the stealth mode for the reporting hours, and for just 24 hours, but it's enough when I'm using in a good moment and with weather. So let's see.
He is very tough, and you know, he just keeps coming. He's like the Energizer Bunny, you know, and I think he's got I think his Achilles heel is possibly the boat, and the boat is an older design, and possibly, you know, it's now with him pushing it so hard, it's failing in places. So I think he has to be careful. We're all anxious now to get to France and get the race over with and get the over results, but it'll be fun. Right out of the blocks here at the starting line, I think it's going to be a good battle all the way across.
Although Gutkowski and Hatfield will be scrapping it out for 2nd place, there's also another skipper very keen to bag a podium place and finish on a high. British solo sailor Chris Stanmore Major has become a force to be reckoned with over the last couple of legs and could well have a surprise up his sleeve.
It is mathematically possible for me still to step up onto the podium for the overall race. You know, the first couple of legs were difficult and we didn't get very many points. Now we're sort of in the middle of what's going on. So they are definitely going to be in my sights, but for it to really work for me, I need to get Brad between me and them, and that's the real challenge. So where Gutek and Derek are is all very interesting, but it's got to be Brad, because I need him between me and them.
But before the silverware is divided up, there is the challenge of getting across the Atlantic to contend with. Although leg 5 may be the shortest in this edition of the Velux 5 Oceans, that doesn't make it any easier than the previous 4 sprints.
The North Atlantic can be all as tricky as the Southern Ocean. I've done some crossings in the North Atlantic. When you do races from England to Rhode Island or Canada, your Great Circle takes you way up to 55 degrees, and you're into ice territory, and the Labrador Current, 3-degree water, and very, very nasty. Low pressure systems coming off of Canada with that jet stream can make it very cold and very treacherous.
It's gonna be definitely really fast leg, because it's gonna be quite windy, because we have to go on the 48 degrees on the north. So probably this is gonna be better for me than last one, because gonna be definitely the weather system looks like on the Seven Oceans, so gonna be everything with the downwind, reaching and jibing, something like that. So this is a good opportunity, making some good tactician for me.
I suspect we'll see sea states that are corresponding with typical low pressure areas. In other words, we'll be dealing with anything from light air in the beginning and in between systems to up to 40-50 knots in low pressure areas that are coming across, and the winds that are associated with that. That's pretty typical for this time of year.
The main thing with this sprint is that it's going to have a completely different characteristic in that it's a lot shorter. So any tactical moves you want to make are going to have to happen earlier, and then whatever you create out of that, you're going to have to hold until you get to the finish line. There's no opportunity to fall behind and then come back into the race later on, which is something I've done and have relied on. So it's going to need to be quick out the stocks and then get that position and hold it.
So with just the final leg to go, here's a reminder of the positions as they currently stand. Brad Van Loo tops the table with 58 points. Hatfield and Gutkowski are tied for second on 43 points, with Englishman Christian Mormajor fourth overall, but still in with a good chance of a podium finish. Although the honours in 4 ocean sprints have already been decided, there's still a lot to play for in the final drag race to La Rochelle. Each competitor must complete the race to get a final placing, and Ocean Sprint 5 could well have a sting in the tail. All the action gets underway once again this Saturday at 3 p.m. local time, with the fleet of Eco 60 yachts setting sail from just off the coast outside of Charleston.